Frankie Edgar makes his bantamweight debut against Pedro Munhoz, and as you can see here on the tail of the tape, Frankie, 5 years Pedro's senior. They're both the same height, but here's where it gets interesting. Frankie Edgar with 12 main event slots. This would be the very first time for Pedro Munhoz. This one is scheduled for 5 rounds, August 22nd at the UFC Apex. And joining me now is former UFC champ, Frankie Edgar. Frankie, I don't know about you, but I feel like we've been waiting for this 135 debut forever. Does it feel that way to you?
Yes, it definitely does. I think I was supposed to make it in January, and then obviously things didn't work out that way. And then July, we got pushed back another month, but a couple weeks away, and we're almost there.
Physically, what has it been like, especially since now you've had this long amount of time to kind of adjust your body?
Yeah, it's been great, honestly. I just had to be a little bit more disciplined, start a little bit more out with my diet, but I probably feel better, honestly. I know that doesn't sound right, but I just been putting good stuff in my body, no cheating, no pizza, unfortunately. But I feel good.
Is it harder or easier than you first imagined? Because I know on your end, there was kind of a lot of resistance a few years ago about possibly dropping down. I mean, what has it been like comparative to your thoughts?
I haven't got down to scratch. I was pretty close when we were trying to get down in July, but it's been easier so far. I know those last few pounds are always the hardest, but
Sure.
At least as of right now, definitely easier than I thought.
Do you notice any difference in terms of your training? Do you notice a speed difference? Do you notice an explosiveness difference when you are preparing for this fight?
I just feel a healthiness, I guess you could say. I don't know, speed, explosiveness. That's hard for me to really, to decipher. But I just haven't had any bad days in the gym. No days where I'm tired and sluggish. I'm feeding my body properly, and I think that's the biggest difference. I think when really don't have to cut that much weight, I would be able to eat a little unhealthy at times, and sometimes I'd feel it in the gym the next day. But this time around, none of that.
Yeah. So, I mean, you mentioned the fight when it got pushed back. I mean, it seemed like at one point there were people asking to step in to face you. Why did you decide to ultimately stick with your opponent, Pedro Munhoz, and just go along with him when he would be ready after his recovery from COVID?
I stepped in on short notice with some other guys, opponent switches, and it really hasn't turned out the right way for me in the past. And, they were throwing names at me last second, and I just figured, let's wait. From what I heard, Pedro was asymptomatic. I knew it was going to be a quick turnaround, and we got to rebook it a month later. So really, not too much lost here.
Yeah. And I mean, you're jumping right in at 135. I mean, in the deep end, right? He's ranked number 5 currently as the rankings sit today. So a win here makes a big statement. Did you specifically say, like, I want someone in the top 5 or the top 10, or was this just the name the UFC came up with?
Yeah, that's the name they came up with, but they know I'm game. So I'm sure they knew I was looking for someone with name recognition, and, Pedro being number 5, that was a perfect matchup for me.
In terms of the matchup itself, I mean, Frankie, what do you see when you stylistically envision this one?
Yeah, Pedro's a stud, man. He has heavy hands. He's hard to take down, and if you do take him down, you got to worry about his jiu-jitsu. He's a high level grappler. So, I like the matchup. One of the first times in my career, I'm going to be harder than my opponent.
We're so looking forward to this one because I feel like there's so many ways this could go. And I feel like we haven't seen a lot of your grappling and wrestling in your recent fights. I mean, sometimes it's something that we look forward to and we don't get to see. Is that something you're looking to show off?
Yeah, I'm always looking to wrestle guys if I can. That's just kind of my nature. And, I mix it up. Even if I don't get it, I definitely try for it. So, I'm sure the opportunity is going to present itself in this fight, and I'm going to definitely go for those takedowns.
I mean, ultimately, why do you think you'll get your hand raised?
I think I'll get my hand raised. I do believe I'm still one of the best fighters in the world. And, I've proven that at 55, at 45, and, I think I'm going to do that at 35 as well.
Man, 3 weight classes, Frankie. Do you ever take a step back to kind of look at that and what you've been able to accomplish in this sport?
I think looking back is for later on in the career. So I kind of just try to look ahead. I'm definitely proud of everything I've done, but, I just try to worry about the work I got to put ahead of me. Okay.
So that being said, I mean, what can we expect from bantamweight Frankie Edgar?
It just a little bit smaller version of myself, I'm still going to go out there. I think my cardio is going to even be better if that's possible. And, I'm going to push the pace on Pedro and to try to make him uncomfortable in there.
with a big win here. He's ranked number 5. You are a former champion. This is now your 3rd weight class. In the state of 135 pounds, Frankie, where would that put you?
Yeah, that puts me in the mix. I think, based on my career, my name recognition, I'm always in the mix of a title. And, a big win over Pedro would definitely put me in that in the name of hats. I know 35 is a real hot division right now. There's a lot of guys vying for that title. So, I'm willing to put my work in, and it starts with Pedro on the 22nd.
Man, what a time to make your bantamweight debut. That division is red hot, and just adding your name to it, is going to be something incredible. We are so looking forward to seeing you as a bantamweight. Best of luck to you. Happy eating, healthy eating.
Yes, thank you, Megan. Always a pleasure. Look forward to seeing you guys out in Vegas.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.